Mm.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Eclectic ADHD podcast. I'm your host B, and this is your co-host Dakota. Grab a cuppa, get comfy, and enjoy the chaos. I am pumped for this episode. But first things first. ASMR. I need this monster energy to calm me down. From the heavens. Okay. Okay. I'm so excited for this. But first, we're going to start off with some questions. Do our usual, easier way into it. I don't like where my camera is. I want to see a little bit of my altar.
Okay.
What was the last thing you watched on TV?
Well, I don't have cable or anything like that, so all my stuff is like streamed videos and stuff like that, like YouTube and stuff like that. But I would say the last thing I watched was probably on Hulu, and that was an episode of Naruto.
Yeah, I saw that on Hulu today.
Yeah. So,
An episode. You're on season 3, my guy.
season 3, episode 156.
The last thing I watched on TV was the Diddy case on Hulu. Which was shit, by the way, but granted, they have just pumped that out to keep going.
Yeah.
Name a task you had to do that stressed you the fuck out.
Anytime I have to go to my dad's house to help him with something, it stresses me the hell out because I have ADHD. So I clean a very certain way. And those of the listeners who have ADHD, they know what that is. You like to clean your way and no other way works for you. But when you're going to somebody else's house to help organize a storage unit, a garage, a backyard, to help clean it up, organize it, get useless shit out of it, and you're going to somebody who, and if the owner is someone who doesn't have ADHD, everything they want to do makes no sense.
Oh,
The
baby,
way they
your
do
dad
stuff
is
makes no
riddled
sense.
with ADHD.
Do what?
Your dad is riddled with ADHD.
He's not. We believe he has ADD.
I think he has autism.
I don't. I think my brother is autistic.
Oh, well, not your brother scares me less. Anyway, a task that I recently had that stressed me the fuck out that I had to do was today I forced myself to go back to the gym. My legs are jelly. I went to the gym a lot last year, and over like the Christmas and New Year and stuff, I stopped going because I had a couple, like my brother was a gym buddy, our cousin was a gym buddy, and my best friend was a gym buddy. I had 3 people I could go to the gym with at separate times because my best friend, he didn't want to go to the gym when I was going, so that was cool. If we met up occasionally and went to the gym, it was awesome. My brother, me and him would go to the gym together all the time, but he started like getting more busy and couldn't didn't have time to go. Anyway, moving on. I'm back at the gym and I hate it. I hate every fucking minute of it, and it stresses me the fuck out. But today was good. I got back in. I got the lay of the land. It's all good. I'm not doing it again. Are you different online than in real life? If yes, how?
Um, it depends on what regards they're talking about. Um, we know that online we are very different with each other than when we are in person.
Mm.
But that's something that's expected when you're 3,000 miles away. Online we're very I'm gonna go do this, I'll be back. I'm gonna go do this, I'll be back. It's
Oh, baby, I
we
think they mean from their perspective. As
I know I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
okay.
And so it's a lot of personal time doing things ourselves. In person, if she doesn't want to go to the gas station with me, I'm not fucking going. If she doesn't want to go get food with me, I'm not fucking going. If she doesn't want to do it, it's not happening. Um, so that is a very true thing that you can tell for, online from, but personally, for like all the viewers and stuff like that, I am actually worse. These tangents, the longest tangent I've ever been on, and she can confirm this. I talked for an hour and a half straight about a single topic, and she had to stop me multiple times to remind me to breathe.
Yeah.
So I'm actually dulled down online.
You're hella dulled down, and that's for me so that I can get voice in on my Gonna podcast.
Mhm.
Um, Me personally, I'm very different online than I am in real life. Like I'm sat here saying, "Come speak to me, come talk to me. If you see me in person and you want to have a like conversation, just come chat to me." If you come up to me in person, I'm gonna freak out. I will be so shocked that someone's come up. I will turn bright red. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. And I love how my mic just turned red when I said that. I will turn bright red. Um, is the first thing out of embarrassment that people have seen me online. Um, and then yeah, I'll have a conversation, but if you don't keep that conversation going, I won't know when to walk away or how to end that conversation politely. I will end up just walking away. I will just end up being like, okay, bye. And I
And
will leave.
for those viewers who do end up running into her in person and talking to her, some rules, some ground rules. One, do not compliment her physically. Do not compliment her physically. She will cry. Okay? She will cry. She will say thank you and she will feel great, but she will cry. And it will make her uncomfortable and she'll want to leave. Okay? Don't touch her.
Yeah, no, that's not
Ask it for a hug. Don't just immediately try to hug her because you will get punched.
no, you won't get punched unless you're a dude. If you're a woman, if you try and hug me, you will get the most awkward pat ever. I will give you a patted hug, and it will be the most awkward thing ever. I have a friend who's my little sister, as you know.
Mhm.
Um,
Shout out to the little sister.
Shout out to the little sister. Tragedy happened in her life very, very recently. I haven't told you about that, sadly. I've just not gotten around to it. But I saw her the day after that this tragedy had happened. And I just walked up to her and I gave her a hug. We're both very awkward with physical contact. So it was, she punched me in the face unintentionally, but that was just from like getting her hand out to like hug me. Um, and then it was just a very awkward, like quick, like, okay, I feel better now that I did something. I don't know how to comfort you in this time. I can buy you a brownie. I with my buttons and spoons. um, but yeah, I please don't, if you hug me and it's awkward, I'm sorry.
You're better to wait till the end of the conversation to ask for a hug because she will have gotten a little bit more comfortable with you during the length of the conversation. So the end hug might be a little better.
Think of me like a stray dog. You don't immediately go to touch the stray dog. You have to like wean yourself into it. You know,
Mhm.
I'm the stray dog.
Yes.
Anyway, I bump into you pretty much every day, but we've never spoken. I'm assuming this is me, unless it's you.
No.
I'm
But
assuming
because
it's,
if it's me, we have a problem. I don't leave my house,
but it could be a gas station person or person you buy your vapes from, that kind of thing.
but I buy my vapes once a week. So there that would be it would be more make more sense to say I bump into you on a weekly basis. At least then it makes sense.
Okay, so we'll just assume it's me. Um, I'm sorry. I I don't know. If you want to talk to me, just come talk to me. But again, stray dog, walk up to me showing me your hands, you know? Walk up to me like you're getting arrested, that kind of a thing. No, don't do that. I'll think
Walk.
you're gonna hit me.
Walk, by the way. Don't run towards her. Walk.
Yeah, if you run towards me really excited, I'm immediately just gonna walk away.
Or
That will
she's
be
gonna shut down.
yeah, I will just go on autopilot, just do 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 do. But yeah, if you want to talk to me, then talk to me. It's okay. I'm not gonna bite. I'm not actually a stray dog. Um, but just keep that in mind. Just calm vibes, calm. Um, but yeah, come talk to me. I'm chill as fuck. When you're chill as fuck. What do you think about people who try to control what their boyfriend wears?
That's directed at you, not me. I will get into it, but you go first.
Um, if it's in a controlling manner, I do not think that's okay. If the boyfriend has issues with it, I don't think that's okay. If it's how I want to dress Dakota, because we're gonna do this, we're gonna dress each other up for a date, and in our the style that I would pick for him. And not only that, he has asked me on multiple occasions to help style him, so I control what he wears anyway. But it's not like a you have to wear this, otherwise I'm gonna leave you kind of thing. It's a please help me. I don't know what goes with this jeans, so I'll help him out there. But I don't think it's okay for someone to control what anyone wears.
And in regards to that, it's and for me, it's not like, oh, you have to wear this kind of underwear, you have to wear this kind of socks. No, it's more along the lines of I'm a very simplistic kind of guy. I'll wear blue jeans and a t-shirt any day of the week. That t-shirt may be any color and it may not have any kind of design on it. I don't care. I don't. I'm not I got no one to dress to impress. I don't care. But there are certain colors that work better with my hairstyle and my beard color and my skin tone. That just they work. Like I own a all black suit, black shirt, black vest. I've got a red tie. Uh, it's a full black suit because I look really good in black. And that's something that she's pointed out to me. You know, black and gray and stuff like that, I look good in. It matches, it works for me. I had a whole bunch of orange t-shirts that I am not allowed to wear anymore because they don't work.
They're
The
luminous.
coloration doesn't work with my skin tone.
NASA can see them from the space station.
I worked construction for a little bit, and I was out in the desert in Arizona. I worked construction and worked in some tent shows and stuff like that. And you had to have those bright kind of colors in order to stay cool in that heat. So I have a whole bunch of those. So,
Um,
but yeah, I've got no problem with it. I've asked B to do stuff like that, and I'm curious to see how she views what she thinks a style on me would be good. So I'm curious to see what happens.
goth all the way. You deserve all the good stuff happening to you. Aw.
That's so
I have
sweet.
no good stuff happening to me.
That's so sweet that you think that, but it's all lies.
Lies,
Lies and
misleading.
slander.
Um, do you think apologies always fix things? No.
No.
Apologies is the first step into fixing things.
If you were to just go and say sorry for doing something and then just walk away and never address why you did it or what happened, um, it's it's not enough. In the words of B, sorry without change is just manipulation.
Oh, I wanted to say that.
I know.
Sorry without change is just manipulation.
So having a conversation, and to be honest, there's a lot of times on stuff that we talk about that I do wrong or that B does wrong, that
Me do
the
wrong.
word sorry doesn't actually come up in the conversation. It's more, it's explaining why we did what we did, what we should have done better, and ways of handling it in the future. We work out what the issue was that caused that, so that we it doesn't happen again. And I apologize. B doesn't ever do anything wrong.
I don't agree with what you said that the words I'm sorry doesn't come up in conversation. We had an issue not too long ago and we were both repeatedly saying we're sorry because we both have trauma.
Yes,
But
a lot of
we
yes, in
did work
situations like
out.
that,
We
yes.
did talk about why we did the things. I don't even remember what that was about.
I do.
Oh, is it because you caused an issue?
No, it's because you caused an issue.
Let's get edited out. I never caused issue. What did I do?
Your stress
Bibbins?
levels, your stress levels, your anxiety, coupled with your period, you were
Was I
starting
being
to
mean to you?
you were taking things out on me.
Oh, my baby, I'm so sorry.
We talked about it, we worked through it. You were breaking, put it to you that way. You were breaking down. You were heading quickly for a mental snap. And you didn't even realize you were doing it. I
Was I
had to
being.
flat out point out that, hey, you are acting like you are better than me.
No.
Yeah, so I had we fixed that.
I'm
I
so sorry,
recognized where
baby.
it was coming from. And so I brought it to your attention and I
Why
let
don't
you
I remember?
know. I know you don't. I know because you were so with coupled with the lack of sleep you were getting,
Oh, yeah.
your lack of motivation, you were just falling apart and I was doing the best I could to hold you together. But while you were doing that, you were trying to rip pieces off of me. So I did when I brought it to your attention. We talked it out. We worked through things. We figured out where the issues were coming from, and we figured out ways to address that and work on stuff like that. Now we're doing a hell of a lot better. Um, and the
I'm
fact that
so
you don't
sorry,
remember it
baby.
happening shows that we're doing a lot better because that means that she's starting to get better sleep. She's starting to get more motivation, and without her period being here, she's thinking properly.
Yeah,
So
my period is very hard on me.
it was just a case of burnout, essentially. You were overwhelmed completely, and you were lashing out and didn't even realize you were lashing out.
The next question is, do you have favorite YouTubers?
Yes,
Whom?
I'm gonna let B go first on this though.
No, we're not listing because we're already like 40 minutes in.
I go. I'm gonna let you start on that.
Daz. Daz Black is my favorite YouTuber, and that's it.
He does a lot of different stuff, so he's actually really good. I really enjoy his island survival ones. and I honestly can't wait for him to do the next one. I'm so excited for that.
I've watched Daz for years and I've never strayed from his channel.
I have strayed from a lot of channels. There are a lot of people I used to watch. I used to be big on Unspeakable Games. He was a Minecrafter, and I used to watch all his stuff, and then started watching his podcasts and stuff like that. I mean, I was there before he got married. I was there before he got his girlfriend. I've seen almost every video he's ever made. But nowadays, there's certain depends on my mood, certain people. If I'm in the mood to just watch something funny, I will watch Gray Still Plays. If I want to watch a Minecraft video, Lagundo, there's so many that I could list for that. So I'm not gonna go do the Minecraft one. But there's one guy that right now is piquing my interest even more, and that's Let's Game It Out. It's his videos are hilarious. Because he like, let's see if we can break this game. Let's see if we can break that game. And I love that. It's because he like stresses his PC to the max doing this stuff, and it's amazing.
Okay, that was the last of the questions. Now we can get into why I've been manic. Manic, I tell you, people. The P-Diddy case. The P-Diddy case. Puff Daddy. I wrote down bullet points. There is 32 bullet points, including paragraphs, not in each.
I just watched you scroll
Not,
so far on your glasses.
not in each. Um, the paragraphs aren't in each bullet point. There is quite a few paragraphs, but that's just because there's so much information that I didn't want to leave out. This is everything that I know, and a lot of it I haven't seen on TikTok yet.
Ooh.
And majority of my facts have come from Jaguar Wright. Because that bitch spilling all the truth. She's been spilling all the truths. I didn't know who P. Diddy was. I genuinely didn't. He couldn't have been he's fucking ugly. I'm sorry. Let me just say that now. He is hideous. How he got the bitches that he got, beyond me. It wasn't for his shining personality, clearly.
Mm.
Fucking hell. Anyway, all I know about the Diddy case so far and exactly how it links to Epstein, as in Epstein Island.
Oh Lord.
Okay. He got arrested for sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Do you know what racketeering is?
Explain it for our listeners.
Racketeering, I don't have the definition, but basically it's having a business which in that business you do illegal things. You have a business purely to do illegal things. That's basically what racketeering is. He had kids at his parties called trigger warning. There is copious amounts of sexual abuse, rape, grooming, all of that stuff. Child things, like massive trigger warning to anyone listening that can't handle that. Please don't listen. He had kids at his parties called party favors. They would be set on a dinner table, and guests that attended his freak off parties would go around choosing kids to use as sex toys. When the police raided Diddy's home, they found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, 784 dildos, guns and ammunition, and drugs such as narcotics. That's a lot of fucking dildos.
It has come out now that those bottles of baby oil,
It's not come out, that's not confirmed.
It
That's
hasn't
just
been
gone too
confirmed
far.
yet. I thought it was.
Hasn't been
Well,
confirmed.
there's speculation that that's those thousands of bottles of baby oil weren't actually baby oil. They were liquid ecstasy.
Or for those of you who don't know, GHB.
Yes.
Liquid ecstasy is the street name for it. Drug lord.
Anyway, continue.
I just want to point out that none of these bullet points are in order. I was manic when I wrote them, so these are just all the facts that I know. Um, People would put food on the kids and eat food off them, calling them body cakes. They would bring in animals such as donkeys and burros and force the kids to have physical relations with them as the guests watched, caused some of the girls to throw up, and then they would rub the girls' faces in their own vomit as punishment for throwing up. Diddy and victims received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use after the freak-off events. These events would last days. Ali Carter has made several videos detailing her time at these parties as a victim. She was one of the kids, or party favors, used through Playboy. When the police raided Diddy's house, they found a tunnel hidden underneath a rug under his bed that led to several celebrities' homes, including the Playboy Mansion. In the blueprints on the Playboy Mansion, you can see the tunnels in the blueprints and in the photographs that were released by the feds. Several big celebrities are being connected with these crimes, such as Obama, Oprah, Denzel Washington, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Usher. P. Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, is alleged accused of running some of the freak-offs. In a video Diddy posted saying that his mother was also receiving an IV drip, which participants received after the freak-offs due to exertion and drug use. The FBI has a list of names who Diddy has killed. Every person in the music industry who has randomly committed suicide or OD'd or had a random spout of illness, i.e. pneumonia, and it was just out of character for them, is people that Diddy has killed. With exceptions, of course. I'm not saying that he killed everybody, but the main ones. My curiosities are Avicii, Amy Winehouse, Tupac, and you mentioned Elvis. Although Elvis died in 1977, so
Yeah, but if P. Diddy did all this, who got him started?
Epstein. Anyway,
How long was Epstein doing it?
Aaliyah, Left Eye, and Michael Jackson all tried to speak out against Diddy and they all died weird deaths. Most celebrities have a pattern of sharing the stage after they win an award with Beyonce. It's now come to light that Beyonce has alleged killed Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, Kathy Coriander White, 24 hours after she said that she was going public with the relationship and the baby. Then mysteriously at that time, Beyonce had Blue, her daughter. Jaguar White has insisted that she knows Diddy knows about Kathy Coriander White and what happened to her. She is Jay-Z's pregnant mistress. She believes that he organized her disappearance or death. Eminem has repeatedly, along with countless artists, warned the world of what P. Diddy was in their songs. Ali Carter said that rapper songs are their diaries. Look and you will find in their songs what happened. Usher became Justin Bieber's mentor as he was starting out and signed over guardianship of Justin to P. Diddy for 48 hours. It's come to light that P. Diddy took Justin to these freak-off parties repeatedly and showed the 15-year-old every 15-year-old's dream. P. Diddy was Usher's mentor and did the same thing to Usher.
We got 10 minutes.
That's okay. Oh, we're gonna have to do another one. Jay-Z kept tapes like Epstein and R. Kelly of everything that happened. Majority of these tapes were filmed in a movie style with stars in the tapes taking part in illegal activities. Jaguar Wright said that it is common practice to have receipts in the Hollywood world, receipts being the videotapes and cameras everywhere. Jaguar Wright has listed off countless celebrity names who has had videotapes during these freak-off, proving that they have engaged in disgusting acts. I will add a list of perpetrators at the end. Diddy adopted a random homeless girl off the street and she disappeared. In an Instagram live, she looked shell-shocked slash drugged slash terrified. She said that Papa Combs decided to be a caring man and picked her off the streets and said to come inside and play with his kids, possibly insinuating the party favors that we now know about. Later in the live, he tried to convince her and the internet that he meant something else entirely and tried to coerce her into saying that he got permission from her mother to pick her up because the internet is crazy out there. She did not confirm and went on to say a completely different story about actual kids, Jesse and Leela. She was surrounded by grown men in this live in an intimidating manner. Diddy then kissed her cheek in a possessive slash warning way. Jay-Z has already been questioned by the federal government before he made the Super Bowl announcement, as claimed by Jaguar White. Right. Diddy and victims received IV fluids to recover from physical exertion and drug use after the freak-off events. The movie Blink Twice is based off of P-Diddy's freak-off parties. For those who are wondering how Oprah is involved, she has funded a lot of schools, and in nearly all of those schools, kids have gone missing. Coincidence? I think not. I wrote it like that. There's a capital N-O-T. P. Diddy has been known to pay off coroners to give off false reports. I think it was Aaliyah's body or Cassie's. No, Cassie's still alive. It was someone's body that a coroner said that she had substances in her system. He fired that coroner and got someone else in and paid them to say that it was pneumonia or something like that. It was definitely pneumonia, but he paid off a coroner to say that. Jaguar Wright would attend the freak-offs to save all the victims she could. That's how she knows about everything. Diddy had police officers at his freak-off parties on hand to show that the police will not help the victims and show just how much influence he had over the police. Jaguar Wright monitors the dark web, and she watched a video of P. Diddy's freak-off party starring multiple celebrities such as Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Drake, Chris Brown, and Justin Bieber sell for $500 million using Darkcoin. For those of you who don't know, Darkcoin is just darknet money. It's kind of like Bitcoin, but for the dark web, it's untraceable. Or mostly untraceable. P. Diddy sold his daughters to the highest bidders once they turned 16. He dressed them up like hookers and shamed them for their tits not being big enough when they turned 16. So he sold them to the highest bidder. Sold their bodies, that is. The plane crash that Aaliyah was killed in, she wasn't conscious when she got on the plane. She was loaded onto it like cargo and it crashed. That crash was never investigated. Statements taken were never published, and it was a hidden crash. There were over 25 NDAs signed for events leading up to her plane crash. Why would you need an NDA for a plane crash that was an accident? Because there was foul play, and it wasn't a fucking accident. For those of you who don't know what NDAs are, they're non-disclosure agreements. Legally binding contracts that prevent you from saying anything. P. Diddy is an acceptable monster at this time. There is always going to be more. And if Jay-Z isn't brought down in this case, I suspect he will be the next, as it'll be his case where he eventually gets caught. Jaguar Wright got 3 girls off of Epstein Island. It's with this that I finally say Epstein, R. Kelly, and P-Diddy are all related cases. And I truly believe Epstein was Jay-Z's mentor. Beyoncé was on Epstein's list of visitors to Epstein's Island, but mysteriously Jay-Z was not. Very bizarre considering they were together before the Epstein scandal came to light. This all happened in a very timeline fashion. First Epstein, then R. Kelly, and now P. Diddy. But Jay-Z hasn't been caught yet. He is 100% the bigger fish. Not the top fish, but he's the top of this specific scandal 100%. If you want more details or to find your own info out for yourselves, I encourage you to watch Jaguar Wright's videos on YouTube. She was in the business. She's got nothing but the truth in her eyes, and I trust her info 100%. She's been saying all of this info for years, literal years, and she got called a liar and got harassed for speaking out. Now she's spitting the absolute facts. Also, please go watch Ali Carter's videos as well. She was one of the kids that were party favors through Playboy. She's been trying to tell the police and everybody, but nobody believed her. She and lots of other affidavits have been publicly released detailing what they went through at P. Diddy's freak-off parties. Now, I recently came into another thing that I want to add here before I give off the list of names of people. All right. It's where the tea gets saucy.
Oh, okay.
I was watching Jaguar Wright's YouTube last night, catching up on a video. She said, okay, and I trust this woman with my life. This woman's got me convinced that she knows about my life if she wanted to. And she scares me, and to be quite frank, Jaguar Wright scares me, but here we are. Now, she said that Jay-Z is next to be lined up to get taken out on the running. And the person that's going to take over from Jay-Z to run things for himself, because that's what he's always wanted, is 50 Cent. He's been in the background of all this shit, and no one sees him coming. Jaguar Wright said that he's always wanted to be on top. So he thinks that Jay-Z lining up all these people has conveniently fallen into 50 Cent's little agenda to be on top. Now all it takes is for Jay-Z to get flung out of the running and 50 Cent can take over. Might not be as freaky as P. Diddy's parties, but it's something.
50 Cent's got his own stuff, though. 50 Cent may not be on top, but 50 Cent's got his own stuff, his own things. I mean, there's speculation on the illegal activities of 50 Cent. There's
Yeah,
always been speculation on that.
there's speculation on everybody.
That's true.
But here, the thing is that I didn't mention these bullet points is everybody that wins an award that Beyonce is at and they do not immediately praise her, they go missing. There's a spider on my wall over there.
Lovely.
Um, they immediately go missing, which is why Kanye jumped up on stage when Taylor Swift won her first award. And she didn't immediately go to praising Beyonce. Kanye jumped up and saved her fucking ass from disappearing by bringing attention to Beyonce like she wanted. Adele did the same thing. Adele snapped her award in half and gave Beyonce the other half and sang Beyonce's praises at her award. When she won an award, you mental? I wouldn't praise Beyonce for my fucking award. I put in the work, not you, bitch. The fuck? I'm gonna disappear now. Beyonce's gonna kill me. Help. Say help. But Beyonce is very close with P. Diddy and Jay-Z. So that's why people start singing her praises at every award. Now, the list of people that are mentioned, some of these are victims, some of these are perpetrators. I cannot say for sure as the list has not been outed yet. Any list that you see on the internet is fucking fake. Anyone that claims that this is the list that got leaked from the FBI, nothing gets leaked from the FBI.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Nothing is leaked from the FBI.
This is the speculation that these are the ones that are involved.
The list that you guys are all seeing is people that P Diddy has been seen with. Might not be at his parties, might be at other people's parties, but we don't know. But this is the list that Jaguar Wright gave, and I trust her 100 fucking percent.
Okay.
Stevie J, Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Khaled, Rick Roth, Usher, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Ashton Kutcher, Paris Hilton, Howard Stern, Russell Brand, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Kardashians, Mariah Carey, Pamela Anderson, Nick Cannon, Tommy Lee, Martha Stewart, Kelly Osbourne, and Aretha Franklin. This is a list of names I found while researching. There are more, but as of this moment, we don't know for sure who's been directly involved with the freak-offs, as the actual party list has not been released yet. Justin Bieber was there as well, but that boy is a victim. That boy is a victim. Oh! Oh! I forgot that I had extra things in my notes as well from this thing. Jada Smith. Jada Smith. Bald Jada. Okay, G.I. Jane, you know? Gave her son Jaden to P. Diddy. Gave her own flesh and blood to P. Diddy. To do all that shit to Jaden. Alright? While her husband was going through the rite of passage in the back room somewhere. Now, the rite of passage that I'm referring to is absolutely fine. If you want to experiment with your sexuality, go ahead. But don't call it a fucking rite of passage. Own that shit. Are you kidding me? But what I'm referring to is Will Smith got caught having sex with a guy. Pretty sure it was like his best friend or something. Having sex with a guy, and he was the receiver. But apparently, that is the rite of passage that every male in the industry has to go through. Get a grip, you're experimenting, you're not a fucking child, it's not a rite of passage. If having experimental sex is a rite of passage, bitch, where's my fucking awards? The fuck? Where's my awards? Grow a pair of balls. All of you. Like, I say all of you, like celebrities are gonna watch my podcast, but here we are. And I wanted to also mention that at these freak off parties, they had a very specific cocktail. And it's called the freak off cocktail. And it's called 2C. The 2C cocktail. The freak off cocktail. The special. And it is cocaine, ketamine, and Viagra. The cocaine is to keep you wired, right? Keep you awake for days, right? But cocaine gives you erectile dysfunction because your body's so busy pumping blood to everywhere else it can't physically think about pumping blood to your willy. And the ket is to relax you so that you don't feel anything, dulls your senses so you can keep going even when you're in pain. You don't know that you're in pain because ket does that to you. It numbs you. And the Viagra is to keep you hard. And that's what 2C is. Oh, but they also add pink food dye to make it seem special. Special. But that's what 2C is. That is the freak off cocktail. Which is fucking insane. Mixing alcohol is bad enough. Mixing drugs?
Surprised none of them are dead.
Half of them are.
Well, I meant
You
none of
did
the
it.
participants.
Yeah.
The willing participants have died from it.
It's because of the IVs for days after. The IV fluids flushed out of their system. Um, Will Smith was also a common guest at the.
Uh, okay. B's been disconnected. I don't know what just happened there. Um, can you hear me?
What happened?
I don't know. Your camera went out and your audio cut out.
Weird. Like I just got kicked out and then it just joined me back in.
I've never seen that happen before.
Oh, that's them. They're listening. They're after us. They're after me. If I disappear, it was Beyonce.
All you're doing is talking about stuff that's already all over the internet.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that is all I know about the Diddy case. I will keep my eye out. I don't think I'm going to speak on this again just because it's really not that interesting. I really don't care. But watching the downfall of Hollywood is quite entertaining. I'm not going to lie. Like getting all these little tidbits of information is fucking funny. Um, I do feel for the victims though. Um, I do really feel for the victims. That is fucking horrendous to go through. How none of them have DID, I don't know. Like what the fuck? But yeah, that is the Diddy case. The Diddy case. It had me in such a chokehold, and I needed to get this shit out and just talk about it. Now, I do know that my little sister didn't know who P Diddy was. P Diddy is a rapper and a hip hop artist. Now, he came from, I want to say South Side, no, East Side. He came into fame by having a production company called Bad Boy. Um, and that's how he sort of rose to fame. He had a Bad Boy production company. Um, and then, which had artists like Rihanna, Beyonce, Aaliyah, Left Eye, that kind of people. And there was another company um, on the west side that had artists like Tupac and Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. So they were basically um, companies, rival rappers, without the P. Um, but yeah, that's where Tupac came from. He was a really shit artist and a fucking ugly human being. Um, but yes. What do you mean Spotify can't process my payment? I've got so many people trying to take money from me today.
But that's all the information that she has found on the P. Diddy case. Yeah, like she said, I don't think we will speak about this again. To be honest, I don't really care. I've never really cared about the music industry or the world. I don't, if it doesn't affect my life directly, I don't really care. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel bad for the victims and I wish nothing but the best for them. And I hope that they get the help they need and they get the justice they deserve. But at the same time, I don't much care because if it wasn't those victims, it would have been a different set of victims. If it wasn't those criminals, it'd have been a different set of criminals. Unfortunately, the way the world works, if it's not one thing, it's another. Um, 3 months ago, we were talking about school shootings. Now we're talking about the downfall of Hollywood. And in 2 months, we will probably be discussing the downfall of the United States government, if I'm being honest.
That would be
There's,
funny.
if it's not one thing, it's always something else. Um, and this is a shit thing to have happening right now. It really is. And I genuinely, as a father, feel horrible for the kids that were involved. Um, and I wish nothing but the best, and I hope that they get the justice they deserve. Um, So don't go around thinking that I'm heartless or anything like that. I feel for them. But Epstein Island happened and everyone talked about that, and then all of a sudden everyone stopped. And now P. Diddy's come out doing basically the same fucking thing. And now everyone's talking about it, and in a couple weeks, a couple months, everyone will stop. We tend to move past this stuff really quickly, and that's a shit thing that happens, unfortunately. But because of how quickly most of society moves past these very dramatic and traumatic events of people's lives, um, I've stopped caring, because no one's going to pay much attention for very long. Um, and that sucks. It honestly, it sucks. It hurts my soul that we'll move past this very quickly. Um, but something will happen somewhere, and everyone will forget. Um, so for those of you who are throwing sympathy and voicing your concerns and voicing your justice for the kids type thing, keep that energy, because if you don't keep that energy and you don't keep the remembering those kids and those victims and the people involved, you are no better in my eyes, because you will just move on and completely forget those children. Um, it's just the way the world works. So for me personally, I don't much fucking care, because I don't watch the news. Shit, I mean, I just had a hurricane take out half of my state, and nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it. Everyone's focused on P. Diddy case, but when that P. Diddy case drops and everyone realizes that half of Interstate 40 has been washed away, like there's no pavement left, they'll suddenly start to realize, hey, the West Coast, the East Coast is having some issues. That's more important. Um, I mean, there are thousands homeless. There are thousands who are underwater. There are thousands who don't have anything left. But everyone's so focused on the P. Diddy case, they don't even notice it. So this country is going to shit really quickly. Um, and it's a shame that people we idolize have done this. And truly hope that those kids get what they deserve and those criminals get what they deserve. And well, if anyone does end up watching this, P. Diddy, yeah, jail's not nice. But when you're a child getting fiddled with by grown ass adults who are celebrities, Um, that's not nice either. So I hope you get stabbed.
You
I'm
deserve.
gonna be honest. I hope you go to prison and I hope you get stabbed, because what they do to people like you in prison is far worse than the jail conditions you're facing right now. And I hope they send him to a real prison and not the celebrity prison, which is just a glorified country club with bars. So, because most prisons don't have a fucking tennis yard. Just saying. Shit, you're lucky if you get a basketball. Anyways, that sums it up.
See.
So, music.